So I've got the V-neck sewed into it now. So I'll have to get the eyelets, get 4 of them here, where the strings come out the bottom to pull everything closed, and then put an eyelet on both sides of the hood and run a string through as well. But it worked out perfect. Next thing I've got to do is put it on and figure out where I want to put the hand holds in to be able to access the pockets inside. Remember, I did sew an inner pocket over a large area, so I should be able to get a lot of stuff inside the pocket. Okay, I've got the V in, and I'm going to put in the holes. I have a small side and a larger side, and I'm going to put aluminum rivets in to be able to put the leather strap in. As you can see, I did sew across here to stop any tearing and also support everything on the inside. So I'm going to do this as evenly as possible. If that's even possible. I want to get past the stitching with my hole. Okay, we're just past it there. There we go. I'll get it strung up. So now I've got the eyelets for the hood string. So next we'll be stringing all this up. So there we go. We've got it tied in the front, and we've got our hood attached with the string through the eyelets. Thinking that's looking good. Next thing is cut the slots for the pockets here. I'll have to put it on to see where. I have an area that's pretty big for the pocket, so it goes all the way down to here. So here to here, here to here is all pocket area. That's next. So once again, I've put the pattern up here to see about where I want to put the pockets into this. So I think that's what I'll do, is put it right here, here and here. So I'll go ahead and get them cut and show you what that looks like. So I have the first one cut in. So I'll just use the old thumb and finger technique. And then I think I'll do a blanket stitch on that. I think blanket stitch would be nicer looking than a whip stitch. I did find 100% wool. It is black, so it does give a little contrast. I'll be blanket stitching this, and I'll probably do some blanket stitch around the edge, I think. I think that looks better than whip stitching. I'm using the biggest needle I can find just to get everything tied together here. That's one nice thing about wool. It'll open up without making a problem. stop stitch here just so it won't go any farther. I'll tie that one together as well. Okay, we've got the ugly stitch job, but I think it's going to work. It's stiff enough that it should hold everything. You see there's a lot of pocket above and a lot of pocket below. But I've got this side here to stitch up yet. That'll be next. So I have the two pockets sewn up. I've folded over a piece here and blanket stitched it. But I'm not sure I like the look of that, so what I thought about doing is taking one of the edge pieces that was whip stitched and laying it over and sewing it on the upside. That way any moisture would maybe drop away, but then you could be able to get your hand in by lifting the flap. I think I like that. So I've got the covers whip stitch, or actually blanket stitched on. I've got the tie on the V-neck and the tie on the hood. Next thing is to take it out and try it out. So last year I made this wool blanket coat out of a Harbor Freight blanket. One thing I found is anything that ran across that direction of the blanket was weak. I had to double the blanket stitch I put on the edge just because it was tearing out. This has served me well though, because I have taken it to outings with the Boy Scouts and stayed warm. The fringes haven't really done anything other than curled a little bit. They're working out well. The fringes were there to help dry the coat. That's what fringes on buckskins were for. And then a year later, same day, I made this one out of a better wool blanket, doing a pattern with the donor sweater I found at Goodwill. And it's worked out very well using a pattern, and actually sewing it with the treadle sewing machine was much faster. I got this done, basically sewed up the first day, and then other than putting the pockets in and the string ties that I didn't have at that time, finished this over the weekend. Only stitching I had to do was blanket stitching around the pockets, and I will do some down the sleeves just for a decoration. I did turn the seam out, so I'll go ahead and blanket stitch down this, and that'll be for a look. So as you should remember on the first video, I cut up this donor sweatshirt. It was an extra large. I wanted a large. By using an extra large, everywhere I cut, I needed to fold things together to actually sew it. So that was my seam allowance, was the extra size. I did put all the points in for sewing, which worked out very well. Everything came together neatly. As you can see, it's a blanket coat made from a wool blanket.